Hey guys, it's John with True Shot Gun Club. I'm here today with the guys from POF and Mike Mills Tactical Considerations. We were out here today doing some filming with some great POF guns and some suppressors. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
I'm Corey from Patriot Ordnance Factory. This is Lucas Fringa, Patriot Ordnance Factory. We brought out a few different special guests today, including our Revolution DI, our Rogue, special guest the 416 full auto, and then our brand new 9mm, the Phoenix.
One of the best things about POF is it's their gun. So they've designed this thing a lot differently, from the charging handle down to the rail. You've got all that M-lock you want. You've got nice smooth rail if you want smooth rail. You've got all the attachment space in the world for offset sights, offset optics, red dots, whatever you want to do. And of course you can see we've got some Leopold stuff on here. The feel of it is exemplary. It's what you would expect. It's tight, it runs nice, it runs very soft. It's got that adjustable gas system in it. And when you're really trying to dial something in, which is what everybody seems to want to do when they get a new AR, when they're building, they always want to say, dial it in, but they go to springs and buffers most times, right? With an adjustable gas system, it takes the guesswork out of it. You shoot it, you make sure it runs, you tune it down until it doesn't run, then you go back up a notch or two, and then you are in that sweet spot to get the thing just running perfect.
Okay, so for me, the Revolution was great. It shot real flat. Mike touched on the adjustable system. For a 308, it didn't feel like a 308 AR-10. It didn't have that punch to it. Overall, the gun is well built, like Mike touched on. Everything seems to have a great fit and finish, which POF is known for. So let's go on to the Rogue.
Now this one's special because this Rogue normally does not come with an adjustable gas block. It just comes with our low pro, but we brought out kind of a Frankenstein, so to speak. So this one does have our Dictator 9-position adjustable gas block because we knew we were shooting some suppressed here today. So
yeah. And you guys said there was something special about this gun. Besides that, there was some history behind it?
Yeah, so this gun actually is owned by one of our lead techs, Jackson, and it was one of the last guns that he and Frank had built together. So this one is got some special meaning to us. So we appreciate him letting us bring that out and bringing it out here and having fun, on a day like today.
And I'm real honored that we got a chance to hold the last gun that Frank got to build together. Mike, what did you think?
Yeah, so I mean, again, it's got that POF kind of fit and finish on it, and I mean, you guys will see from some of the up close shots here, just the attention to detail, the machine work, the controls on this. Some of their different models have ambi controls, fully ambi, all that good stuff. It's just a great setup to work with, and the cool thing about this one is like you said, it's one of the last guns that Frank actually put his hands on. When you guys told me that, I was like, why do we have this gun out here? But it's kind of an honor to shoot that. There's a lot of local agencies that actually use the POF. My agency that I work with is one of them. And it's just a treat to get to shoot the thing. It really is. And
you mentioned a little bit about AR-10 and what we pride ourselves, especially with the Revolution and then the Rogue, with it being pretty much an AR-10 inside an AR-15 body. The Revolution is all billet, fully ambi controls on everything. The Rogue is forged upper and lower, so it's lighter, and I hope you guys were able to feel that difference between the two. A sub 6 pound 308, and not the kick that you would think you'd get by squeezing it in that body.
Yeah, it didn't affect how the thing really felt in a recoil. I tried to pick up the pace a little bit standing when we were shooting it. It didn't affect like you would a lot of other guns when it comes to that recoil impulse by taking all of the weight out of it. Because a lot of times the heavier the gun, the little bit more easier it is to control depending on how you can hold it. But to stand up with something that weighs less and still get a manageable recoil impulse is definitely a nice touch.
Good, and a lot of the proprietary touches in there, with the bolt being shrink down and roller cam pin, heatsink barrel nut that allow it to continue to function under abuse.
Yeah, no, it ran great, and we were getting really good accuracy out of it too. Let's step on to the 416.
So 416, the 415 is actually the consumer. This is the 416, so this is for law enforcement and special guests here. So it's a little bit different. These ones feature a Renegade low profile rail. This is piston driven, and so it has our edge rail that creates a backbone over the top of the upper and gives it that rigidity and strength as that piston is moving back and forth.
Mike, what did you think?
Yeah, so I've got some time on this specific one, just in a different color. These things are just a treat to shoot. Piston guns are just a far different animal than a direct impingement gun. So Direct impingement just throws all that gas back in there and operates that bolt where that piston gun is working off of that piston, driving that bolt and that whole drive system back in there. It feels totally different. It operates totally different. The recoil impulse is totally different. And personally, piston guns that are made right, they just feel better. They just feel like such a better gun to run. They run cleaner, they can run longer, you can run them harder, and you can generally run them as fast. Everything that you would at a DI gun, but you're getting all of the piston benefit.
And good point on the piston. We ran it suppressed full auto, and you brought up the point that on a DI gun you'd get a lot of soot and blowback.
You look like a coal miner sometimes. Right. Yeah.
But with this, nothing.
No, it's perfect. Running piston guns, especially one that's built like the POF with a can on it, it's a treat. You know, you don't get the normal piston or the normal DI blowback in the face coming out of the ejection port. Extremely overgassed feeling in your face kind of thing going on. So
you came out clean. You come
out clean and you come out with a smile on your face, right? Your teeth are all still white while you're smiling. So.
Now, last we've got the Phoenix. Now, this was dropped at SHOT Show this year.
Yep.
You know, can you give us a little bit of insight on the gun and what kind of makes it different than everything else on the market?
Yeah, so the Phoenix definitely proprietary. It features a all billet lower with AR-15 parts in that lower, fully ambi. It is a direct blowback with a 35 round proprietary mag, and it gives us that angle, that height, and that weight that we wanted it to feel and have. Also, the charging handle, you can mount it on either side, so for lefty or righty shooters, depending on the comfortability on that. Lucas, what else to add on that?
Yeah, the charging handle is a great feature. Flips down, and we've got non-reciprocating, so you don't have to worry about hitting your thumb. It's just a real nicely balanced gun, and yeah, it's.
I was excited to bring it out, to have you guys shoot it, kind of the first out in the wild, so to speak, test to have you have it in your hands. So I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't get a chance to mess with it at SHOT Show actually, so. And I asked a very specific question when I was looking at the internals of like, what is this? So this isn't just another AR-9. This isn't like an AR-9 build. When you see inside of this thing, if you know what an AR looks like, it looks different in there, especially on the ejector, because I was like, what is this? It's different. And there's a lot of good stuff going on. Like the machine work, again, is what I'm talking about. You have everything from the bevel for your finger to come into the trigger guard here. The attention to detail on these things is just, it's fantastic. You've got a really great idea back here. You can run either a sling that's flush fit into this, or you got that pick rail, so you can put a pistol brace, you can put something else back here, what you want. You still have rail, you've got M-lock. It's just a great setup. So plus it's got 35 round mags that go into that thing. It gives it a really cool look as for like an SMG, that subgun look.
Yeah.
That's just, you're never gonna get that look out of an AR-9 platform. It looks like a subgun. It ran like a subgun, even just holding it out there. I was able to just start drilling that steel down there to the point where I knocked the target and the steel over because I kept hitting it with rounds. So it was a pleasure to shoot. I'm glad I got to do it because I missed it at SHOT Show.
Good.
And I enjoyed it as well. And I've shot more of the AR style PCCs. Mike, you have more experience with PCCs. Yeah. What makes it, is there a difference? Can you feel the difference compared to other AR PCCs and things like that?
Yeah, so a couple cool things. One, you're dealing with a non-reciprocating charging handle that's actually swappable from left side to right side with a couple of screws, a couple of button heads in there. The balance of it is totally different. So anytime you start running an AR-9, depending on how that system is made, whether it's a delayed blowback or a direct blowback, your weight distribution's weird, and you're dealing with a magazine issue, which is, we have proprietary mags here because trying to square peg round hole magazines for certain calibers into different style of weapons, whether it's a Glock mag or an AR mag with mag guts, can get a little bit interesting sometimes. They won't always cycle. So starting from the ground up with its own magazine makes a difference, but the balance of the thing in the hand was probably what I noticed most, because it actually felt more like something that was meant to be a 9mm pistol variant like this, PCC, rather than something that we made into a 9mm pistol variant like that.
Yeah. So overall impressions on everything, I am very excited to work with POF, especially with this, and I appreciate you guys bringing these things out. They're well built. The attention to detail is second to none. You can't beat it.
And we appreciate that. I mean, family-owned company, everybody there at the factory works hard, and everyone is like birthing another child. You know, it goes out and being touched with everybody's hands, and you know, nothing's not wiped down or packaged correctly when it's sent out to the end user.
Yeah, and that's huge, because a lot of times I'll tell people the first time you get your rifle, your AR, whatever platform it is, and the first time you run that action, that's going to tell you a lot about what the company did to it in the machine process and what they did into it in the cleaning process. And I think we've probably all seen guns that come out just soaked in salt bath nitride, and you're cleaning them forever to get them clean again. It's a totally different thing here. You run that action, you pull that charging handle, and you feel that smoothness, that ball bearing feeling, almost like it's a bolt gun working that action. And that's one of the things where if you get a gun that comes like that, like these, you know right out of the box you got a runner, right? You're not going to have some problems. So
We appreciate that.
Well, Mike, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
you taking the time. Guys, thank you for bringing these out.
Thanks for having us out.
Last question for you, Mike.
yeah,
Would you run it?
absolutely, hands down. Now, if I could get the 416, I would, but it's gonna be a 415 for me, us mere peasants, right? This was just the treat. That was just the treat today. So,
Perfect. Well, thank you guys again.
Thank you.
We'll appreciate it. Stay tuned for more videos with these guys, with a few other cool things, especially with the Four Peaks side. So we're gonna go step over and start talking about that. Make sure to subscribe and like, and make sure to follow Mike, Tactical Considerations. Subscribe and like his page. He does some awesome things and gives a great breakdown on a lot of different guns. So thanks for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day.